back to a brand new Gamers Podcast, episode 9. And, of course, it's me and Steven.
What's going on?
And this week, we actually don't really have much to talk about because there hasn't really been a lot of gaming news or gaming headlines. But I do want to start this podcast with a game that me and Steven are very excited about that's coming in 2015, Dying Light. This game is like a zombie survival game, and it's absolutely amazing. And I showed Steven the trailer this week. I'm not sure if it was on PS4 gameplay or PC gameplay or Xbox gameplay, the trailer. But the trailer looks amazing. It was due to come out this year, but it didn't, due to it being postponed and being made better, and etc. You know, that sort of stuff. Because, you know, as much as we hate the developers doing that, you know, you got to make your game as good as it can be, really. And I really do encourage people or companies to, if they are making a game and it's not ready, to postpone it and not release it just because of the money. Common sense, really, but I mean, you know, we're really excited for this game, aren't we, Steven?
Yeah, I did see the trailer earlier, and I'm definitely excited for it.
I mean, it comes out in February 2015, and it's going to be amazing. Now, I definitely think you will probably have your PS4 by then.
Shit, I'm going to probably have in the next month or so.
So, I mean, we can probably expect to see me and Steven do some kind of series on there, for sure in the future. But I mean, we'll get to that a little later towards the date, because I guarantee we'll both be getting this game more than likely, because it does look amazing.
Yeah, definitely impressed by how it looks.
Kind
of reminds me of Left 4 Dead in a way.
Yeah, definitely. And Left 4 Dead has a new game coming out this year as well. Evolve has another new game coming out this year.
Alright.
So, you know, that's going to be for PS4 as well. But I kind of, with Dying Light, I'm hearing, if I remember correctly, it has 6 game modes. Or it might be 7 now that co-op is one of them. But it has 6 game modes, survival, beat the night, or something like that, etc. But this game looks so good, and I just really like the mechanics of the fact, you know, it's not one of these horrible zombie games that is in fucking third person. You know, these third-person zombie games that are coming out on the PS4 and the PS3 are just terrible.
I haven't seen really anything. I mean, the last good third-person zombie game that I didn't play, but I know it's really good, is The Last of Us.
I think it's just really bad. I prefer my first person, definitely to third person. You know?
Yeah, if it's done right, yeah.
And I love how everyone who has played Call of Duty and they see it like a zombie game, they always say, oh, I wonder if they're going to be like Treyarch. I wonder if they're going to have survival and pack-a-punch and everything like this. And as much as they would love to, they can't copy Call of Duty zombies too much. But I mean, Dying Light has definitely opened up my eyes to what to sort of expect on the next gen, because the game looks great. The game looks beautiful. It looks as if it runs smooth. It looks as if it's a big map as well. Did you recognize that? Like, he went through so many different parts of the map, from cliff hanging situations to swimming, you know. So it looks as if it's going to be like a big open world,
possibly,
kind of thing, and maybe survival turns into, you know, see how far you can get, and they'll have different stages in the map. But I mean, it's going to be big, and I can't wait for the next gen. Well, do we call them next gen now, or do we call them current gen?
I still say we call it next gen because most of the market does not have a PlayStation 4 yet, so I wouldn't start saying next gen until more people have PlayStation 4.
Yeah, but it kind of gets confusing for me because I own both. You know, the PS4 is current gen for me, the PS3 is previous gen, and I guess when you get your PS4, the PS3 will be previous gen for you and whatnot. And it's just so confusing because you don't know who's watching this and who has a next gen console and a previous gen, you know. But I mean, next gen is so good, and I actually saw a leak today which may interest you, is that Sony are set to launch a brand new PS4 1 TB hard drive in the Q4 of this year, so that's autumn. So for anyone that isn't familiar with like Q1, Q2, Q3,
Quarters.
Yeah, it's just like quarters of the month, and they tend to use it in gaming a lot because, like,
Actually,
you'll have
electronics altogether.
yeah, pretty much technology, electronics. You know, you'll have your games that come out in Q1, but technically the best games that come out tend to come out in Q3 and Q4. For me, I find. Maybe because that I'm a bit of a Call of Duty biased guy, you know. We all suffer a bit of Call of Duty fear, you know. We all have to play Call of Duty, right?
I
And
wish.
well, it's not the fact that, you know, it's a game that I buy yearly, and it's probably, except FIFA, it's probably the only game that I buy yearly, like that comes out yearly that I buy.
Call
What
of
about
Duty
you?
it used to be a game that I buy yearly. It ain't no more.
But you brought last year's, and you brought the years before that, and you'll buy Advanced Warfare.
I'm not buying Advanced Warfare.
You will,
I
man.
will put any amount of money. I will not buy Advanced
You
Warfare.
will, I guarantee it, man.
I got NBA 2K15. I ain't got to worry about no Call of Duty.
No, you will buy Advanced Warfare, I guarantee. You'll buy it for the PS4.
I will not buy for the PlayStation 4.
Alright, I'm taking bets on this. He will buy Advanced Warfare for the PS4.
And I'm taking bets that I will not buy Advanced Warfare.
I think you will, because you suffer from the Call of Duty disease, and you will fall for the trailer that they release on Monday where you think, that Call of Duty looks pretty goddamn good. I'm going to pre-order it.
I seen the first E3 trailer. I hated it off the get-go.
Yeah, but the multiplayer reveal, no one cares about campaign.
Still, I'm not falling for it this year. I'm done. You know what? I would like to give Sledgehammer a chance, but I'm not.
I think you should just give it a chance and trade it in the first 2 weeks.
Shit, and get $2? Hell no. I'm not buying it at all. Save me $60.
I mean, speaking of the multiplayer reveal, let's say if you were to buy it, or if you were someone that was saying, should I buy it? What would it have to include to make you buy it? Like, what are the key things that stand out from previous Call of Duties that make you think, you know what? If the next Call of Duty has this, I will buy it because it has this kind of feature.
Well, the first thing is I'm tired of futuristic warfare.
Uh-huh.
I'm tired of futuristic warfare. I know a lot of Call of Duty fans are.
Yeah.
They're tired of futuristic warfare. They're tired of using guns that were just made up at the last minute. And we want either, which a lot of people want to hear World War II back, or they want different wars.
I mean, it's kind of harder, and it's always rumored that Treyarch's next COD will be World at War 2, or some World at War next game. And I kind of get that because, jumping too far forward on the gallon can kind of hurt your series. There's only so much people can take, and, going all futuristic can really harm your game because I generally do think that because they go so far futuristic, they don't know how to counterattack that. Like, there isn't a counterattack for everything and I guess Advanced Warfare is going to be a struggle because it's going to be so Advanced Warfare that I don't think anyone's come up with a solution to counter that kind of futuristic. So it's going to be really interesting. For me, the game has to have good-looking maps. Now, when I say good-looking maps, I don't mean these shit maps that Call of Duty Ghosts keeps on producing. The same colours, the same sort of like map, sort of design kind of thing. And when I say design, in Modern Warfare 2, if you ever look at Modern Warfare 2 or COD 4, they design their map in like a capital H style. They have like one major spawn base. They have the middle bit of the H, which is like all underpasses of maps, and then they have the other spawn, so it's like a big capital H. Do you follow me, Stephen?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
So, I mean, you got two big massive spawn systems. You've got the big, I don't know, maybe like big building on each side. A little bit like a high rise. Imagine a high rise as a capital H. You've got like one big spawn point, you've got the other, and then you've got the big middle bit. And then on the two sides of the H, in between, you've got like all the underpasses and everything like that. Pretty much like how Terminal used to work, how Underpass used to work, how Derail works, etc. In these CODs you used to have it wasn't like multiple spawns, you just used to have one major spawn, but with different spawn points. It's got to have something like that. It's got to go back to the old maps, the fun maps that we fell in love with and were fun to play. In Call of Duty Ghosts, I don't want to play a single map in that game.
I don't even want to play the game in general.
In Black Ops 2, I don't want to play any DLC maps.
I didn't like Black Ops 2 maps at all either. I didn't like any of them.
In Modern Warfare 3, the only DLC map that I liked was Terminal.
That's a different story.
That's just because I fell in love with Terminal for Modern Warfare 3 and they didn't change anything in there. Black Ops 1, I didn't really like any DLC map. The only DLCs that I've liked that have come from Call of Duty has been the Modern Warfare 2 DLC. And that's because those maps were great in my eyes. They played great. Not all of them were appealing to me, like Trailer Park, but I still liked it. Or what was the one with the where it was like taking place at the circus?
Oh shit! I can remember what that map's called. Wasn't it from COD 4?
I don't know.
I know it was taking place in Ukraine after the Chernobyl incident. I think. Yeah, I forget what it's called.
Was it called Carnival?
I'm not sure. Possibly.
I don't know, but not all the maps appealed to me in Modern Warfare 2, but I still played them because they were fun to play. With multiplayer, I'm hopefully, and this is, if you are a sniping guy, then, you might be offended by this, but I'm kind of hoping that snipers will be a 2-kill thing. 2-hit marker kill, you got to get 2 hit markers on me to kill me. Because
not a bad idea.
I mean, I'm just done with snipers, It really does piss me off how I can fire like 30 bullets and get hit markers and he just fucking hardscopes me with 1 bullet. I'm done with that. Like, I've dealt with that for the past 6 Call of Duties. I don't want to do that anymore. Make snipers a 2 hit markers and give me guns that kill snipers fast, because I really do think Call of Duty has got to the point where it needs to sort of get rid of the sniping community.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm fed up of playing search and destroys and watching two guys do some ladder stalls, trick shot for some setting up kill cam montage shit. You know, I'm over that. Get out of it. You know?
I mean, that's another thing. It's like sniping montages. That shit was back in MW2. Nobody, I don't really think anybody does it now, do they?
I would probably guess that maybe FaZe still do it. I don't know. I don't really watch montages. When I did, it was pretty much people like Zerka on Modern Warfare 2.
Mm-hmm.
When it was in its prime, and you used to think, if that guy can do it, I can too.
Mm-hmm.
All you gotta do is just quickly press L1 and R1. How hard can it be? And then you get a fucking hit mark and you're like, oh, fuck off. But I mean, you know, I'm pretty much done with sniping in COD, you know? I want it to be, if it's gonna be set futuristic, I want it to be realistic. And you can't quickscope in real life.
Mm-mm.
You don't do that.
No, you don't.
And, you know, I want it to be X amount futuristic that, you know, there isn't some kind of fucking dog kill streak like there is in Ghost.
Oh yeah, here, puppy.
I mean, the fact that if you fire, I don't know if you know, but what is the least powerful gun, like realistic? Well, not like realistic, but like real gun. What is the least powerful gun? Do you know by any chance, or do you know of a really least powerful gun that isn't very powerful?
No, it's been so long since I played Ghosts. I can't remember.
No, I mean in like real life. Like, is there a gun in real life that sucks really bad? That is a real gun?
Well, I mean, everything's pretty bad if you get hit the wrong way. But I mean, I'm not a weapons expert, but I think the least powerful. I think it's a 22 caliber bullet. I think that's the least killing of you. I mean, it will kill you if you get hit in the wrong place. But
I mean, for me, you know, a dog dies if you shoot a 22 caliber on it. A dog instantly dies.
Not instantly, but it does die eventually.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're demonstrating that in a Call of Duty and you fire one single bullet, that dog would be wounded and he'd be on the floor, in my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be pouring out blood. So for Call of Duty to take a full magazine of a submachine gun or an assault rifle and still get hit marks and die is kind of bullshit. I don't want any of that shit. I want kill streaks to be good. I don't want there to be any exosuit kind of like copy of Modern Warfare 3 and Ghost kill streaks where you can get perks as kill streaks. I don't want there to be any of that. I want there to be stuff like a tactical nuke in there, kill streak wise, you know, etc. I want there to be every gun to be balanced. I want there to be so many guns on the battlefield that you can use any gun and anyone can counter attack you.
Yeah.
So it's not like, you know, you go on Modern Warfare 2, you know, someone that's using the AK-47 or the ACL or the UMP-45 with sight of hand stopping power, they're always going to kill you. Doesn't matter what. Pretty much, they're always going to kill you. I don't want that to be over. I don't want that to be any kind of what do you call it? I don't want that to be like any overpowered perk. I'd like everything to be balanced, or at least everything to have a counter attack to it. Not so that it's like overpowered, but at least if it's not balanced, at least you can balance yourself. Like Modern Warfare 2 did this great thing where, you know, there was a chopper gunner or an AC-130, you know, or Harrier. You could just put cold-blooded on. And cold-blooded was the shit, you know. It was great. So I want everything to be counter-attacked. I want there to be like a league play series, etc. I want there to be new game modes. And I'm going to be interested to see the multiplayer reveal is on Monday. So this Monday coming up, I'll tune into that, and then I guess the next podcast will catch up on that. But speaking of Call of Duty, let's talk about the Wii U of Black Ops 2. It has just received an update which includes the Nuketown 2025 map pack DLC.
What?
The Wii U has just received an update this week for Black Ops 2 that lets you play Nuketown 2025.
Who plays Call of Duty on the Wii U?
Well, the worst thing is that they added a file to allow you to play Die Rise. This is 2 years after the official release of Die Rise.
Alright. Well done.
2 years later, you finally give that file named Die Rise, and it's not even buyable yet. I mean,
That's pretty...
it just shows how bad Nintendo suck.
Nintendo, you need to stop making 10-year-old games.
Baby consoles.
Yeah, you need to stop making baby consoles. You got big boys trying to play your console. Big boys like big toys. It's not a big toy.
Here's the thing, though. If you were Nintendo, a lot of people that like their games are older people because they have the memory of playing, like, Super Mario for the first time. So, I mean, if they produced a console that could compete with the PS4 and the next gen hardware, maybe at least compete with a bit of PC, and develop or design their older games, remaster them to the new sort of technology they've got working on in their new system, they would be sorted. A lot of people would buy that console. It's just fucked up. I mean, 2 years later, it's nice that Treyarch is still competing with that, helping out the Black Ops 2 update, with the Wii U 2 years later. I mean, I know they've been supporting the PS3 and the Xbox 360 version and probably the PC version, but it's nice that they're still supporting the system and the game that they've made. I'd like to see more Black Ops 3 talk or World at War 2 talk come in. Say, look, we're going to be designing our game. It's this. Here's our backstory of the game. We'll see you in a year's time for a trailer. Just to pop up. Here is some talk. You remember last week we mentioned Assassin's Creed?
Ah, yes.
For the previous gen, they were going to do a single player game. Well, it turns out they will only be doing a single player game only. They won't be including any multiplayer in this version. So you're pretty much paying for
a game that you're just gonna trade in eventually then.
That won't even be maximized to what the PS3 and Xbox 360 can handle. So the fact that it kind of pisses me off as a gamer, like when I'm going to use COD as an example, okay? When I had Modern Warfare 2, I had the most funnest time in my life ever playing a Call of Duty. When I went to Black Ops, I paid exactly the same amount of money that my parents probably paid for Modern Warfare 2, and I felt let down. I felt as if it was a step backwards. The game had been let down. And it pisses me off that games and game developers can do this to you, because how can something like a game be released a year earlier and be good, and something that's released a year later be so bad? It really does piss me off.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's so frustrating because prices of the games aren't cheap, you know?
No, they're
It's not like
$60.
it's not like the PS2 anymore or the PS1 where you pay like 20 quid, $20, or you can rent it for $5 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2014 and it's time that the game developers, especially with such a high franchise using Call of Duty again as a reference to this, it's about time they got into a beta phase.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how many people have asked for a beta, just to try out the game and say, look, we need a beta, you need to fix these issues on day one because the game isn't playable. But I mean, with Assassin's Creed being a single player only, that's pretty much to them. A story mode, a campaign that took them a little less over a day's amount of planning probably. They probably already had the story backed up.
Mm-hmm.
And they just deleted the cutscenes, and it's probably that. And then I would probably imagine that the Assassin's Creed on PS4 and the next gen systems will kind of relate to the next Assassin's Creed on the previous gen.
Mm-hmm.
And link up. So the fact that it's a single player is kind of annoying because I always think that single player games, although they are charged at $50 or $60, whatever it is over here we pay $50 for like a
60.
brand new game.
60 American dollars. I don't know how many pounds that is, but
Yeah, we pay, depending on what it is. I mean, I paid 30 for The Last of Us, but that was because they did like a pay cut thing.
mm-hmm.
So, it is what it is. But I mean, for a single player game only, that's a AAA title, that shouldn't charge me more than 30 quid.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks my heart that people think that it's worth 50, because it never is. It's really heartbreaking to the game industry that you still get ripped off. But talking about other gaming news, did you ever play the game Sleeping Dogs?
No, but I've heard of it.
Well, it's getting a PS4 and Xbox One remake. I mean, that was always a game that I've wanted to buy, but I just generally haven't. And I've seen it on Steam sales a few times, but I'm like, I don't play PC games, so I need it on console. So I'll probably get that on PS4, just to get that out there. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because it's going to be like a remastered, revamped. It won't be long until Call of Duty does that, because a lot of developers are doing that with their stuff and everything like that. But just going back onto COD Ghost, they actually did something good in their recent patch update.
What did they do?
They added orange hit markers. Do you want me to tell you why that's good?
Because I don't have to update to it.
No. Here's the thing that they did, right? You know how many times when you shoot a guy but you stop shooting because you think you killed them? They added this orange hit marker, so when you kill them, you get this orange hit marker. That's when you know they're dead. So it kind of stops, goes from white to orange, which is great because I've had countless amount of times where I've stopped shooting at a guy because I think I've killed him in previous CODs. So, jumping on to some Sony news, because I guess we'll get away from that topic because we don't want to sort of rant on about how bad Ghost is anymore. You know, we've pretty much said in previous podcasts just how bad the game is. I think we've had maybe 4 out of the podcasts that we've done. We've mentioned how bad COD Ghost is, and we've gone on like a 20-minute rant. I mean, I brought the DLC guns, which cost me 6 quid, just to see if they made my Ghost playing time any better, and even they suck. You know, I don't know what it is, but Ghost is not for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's just bad. Um,
All I know is I don't have it no more.
Why'd you get rid of it, or did you snap
Yes,
it?
I did.
How much did you get for it?
I only got $15 for it, but that's more than I was expecting anyway.
Yeah, the fact that you got double figures.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get with that $15? Did you get a credit note?
Nah, I just put it in for 2K15.
All right, nice. For PS4.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Pre-
So
Pre-ordering a game for a console that I don't have yet.
yeah, but you'll know you'll get it. So
Yeah.
I have another Call of Duty topic. Okay, so the Advanced Warfare details have been released of what for PC stats you'll need. And it's interesting because you'll need 40 gigabytes of hard drive space.
Mm-hmm.
Which in console, I think console will probably be 45, maybe.
Mm. Yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I mean, 45 gigabyte is a lot on a console.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what it is with these games these days, because I can't imagine what does take up 40 gigabyte on a disc. Like,
Yeah, that's a lot of data.
I mean, what possibly takes up 40 gigabyte when you actually think about it? The campaign, to me, if you finish a campaign within 24 hours,
Mm-hmm.
that to me comes to about 1.5 gigabyte.
Mm-hmm.
Multiplayer, with all the coding, etc., that probably comes to 10 gigabyte for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling to know how these discs. I mean, Diablo 3 came out for next gen. To download that digitally, that's a 60 gig download file.
Holy shit.
60 gig is a lot to download.
Yeah, that's a lot to download.
I mean, I downloaded. I got Battlefield 4 for PS4. I downloaded it digitally, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that was 30 something gigabyte. So it's kind of bad. But getting into some Mac talk now. This speaker for you. Siri is meant to be revealed in the next Mac kind of update kind of talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There was a Mac, like Apple patent meeting, I guess, which is kind of where like they submit all the like new applications and all the like new customer feedback of what they want. And Siri had a 68-page essay on why it should be added to Mac, and I guess they will announce it for Mac because it's Siri and it's Apple. So I guess they will want it on.
Now I can get pwned by the Siri on Mac and on iPhone.
Oh, dude, you got so fucked over by that iPhone.
Mm.
You were fucked.
I know I was. I wasn't expecting it to do that.
Oh, God. For anyone that doesn't know what we're talking about, Steven was adamant that he could outsmart the iPhone, and he asked Siri some like math question that he didn't expect them to know, and he got absolutely fucking annihilated by the Mac, by the iPhone. Sorry, not the Mac.
By Siri, yeah.
And the reason I kind of think that the Google kind of implement of Siri, I don't know if you've messed around with that.
No, I have not.
But if you install that on your Google, Google Chrome, whatever, you will recognize that it understands every word you speak clearly,
Mm-hmm.
and it does whatever you say, and I kind of think Siri is behind in this technique, kind of thing, because I know a lot of Scottish people due to my family being Scottish. I have a lot of family in Scotland, which is... Have you ever heard a Scottish accent?
Yeah.
You know how hard they speak. They speak like really fast.
Mhm.
And Siri just doesn't Siri does not understand them at all. And I do kind of think that Siri is lacking some sort of like, how would you put it? Would you put languages down? Lacking languages or database?
I would say just a lack of, not being able to understand everybody's, like tone of voice.
Yeah.
Now,
What is that? Is that someone's language or is that Siri's database itself?
Well, I think it's just, it could be a mixture of both, really. But I want to, let's see. Go ahead, keep talking. I'll just keep looking this up here.
Okay, so in recent news, Google has brought Twitch, right? And Google owning YouTube, and buying Twitch, kind of admits that they fucked up on their streaming service in YouTube. Now, Twitch, being the all great company that they are, allowing anyone to stream, having a fun time on Twitch, Google has fucked up Twitch within a week of purchase. Do you know what they've added to Twitch? They have added a content ID system.
Oh boy.
And they are muting, so anyone who has played copyrighted music will get their video where the music is, they will get that muted for 30 minutes of gameplay. And this system is so fucked up that the official Twitch sort of like user, like the official Twitch account, had a broadcast muted itself by their own copyright system. It's fucked up in a way because a lot of people are getting found copyrighted claimed by like in-game music.
Yeah, falsely copyrighted.
Yeah, which kind of pisses me off because, like, if you play Grand Theft Auto, Rockstar has obviously paid all the people, all the radios to do their,
have their radio, their shitty radio, but
to activate their songs, their voices, their adverts, etc., and to make it sound like a real game. And then to, I don't know, maybe stream it, put it on YouTube, whatever, do like a funny moments. To not be able to have that licensed music in your video is so shitty because that straight away from playing that music, it's gonna get copyrighted straight away. The way YouTube works and the way Google work with copyright, they are fucking dumb. They really are. Although Twitch is using a different service with the way they are doing the content ID claims, which is a change from YouTube, I guess, because YouTube's content ID claim, although they introduced a new system and new program to their service, I guess you would call it, a couple of months ago. They are still fucked up right now, 8 months down the line. Twitch CEO has said that they have messed up in this updated files where everyone's getting copyright ID claims, streams are getting muted, that they've messed up, and it's just funny that Google takes them over and straight away they get messed up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you say you want to get an Elgato, etc., and do some, of course, like PS3, PS4 work. But I mean, it's so fucked up, you're so limited to choices because I'd imagine you'd be playing NBA 2K15.
Yes, which is filled with copyrighted
Yeah,
music.
and you will get content ID claimed, etc.
I would get a damn DCMA before I knew it.
And 40 minutes in, I'd like to make an announcement here. Is that if you're watching this podcast and I seem to be saying words or slurring my words, it's because I've had 14 bottles of Budweiser, well 13 and 3/4. So I'm a little bit tipsy, so I guess we can call this the drunk cast.
Okay.
But I mean, Stephen, you don't drink, do you?
No, I'm 15. I don't. I would like to, but easier said than done.
Yeah. I guess in America the security's like overdone there as well, right?
It's not that hard to get alcohol, but you just got if you're underage, you just gotta get the right person to get it to you.
Yeah. And also when you first drink it like an underage, like when you first ever drink, you probably don't drink more than a can and it hits you. But
Yeah,
the
never
more
drank
you
before.
drink, the more you drink, the stronger your body gets used to the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've drank literally, let me count this up, since I was around 13 to 14. I'm 19 now, so that's 5 years under my belt.
Mm-hmm.
Now, bearing in mind that a lot of these bottles I've just been sitting here drinking within 5 minutes, just because alcohol has this great thing where it kind of like dries your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason they make it so it dries your mouth is because you buy more and you buy more and you drink and you drink and you drink.
Oh yeah.
So, of course alcohol's going to be in there. So, I've just been necking these within 5 minutes and I've slowly got from bottle 1 to bottle 13 to only having a quarter left of my bottle 14, 14th bottle.
Mm-hmm.
So if I am slurring my words or I am missaying things or mispronouncing things, I do apologise. Do I sound okay, Stephen?
You sound alright so far. You're not completely hammered yet.
Alright. It wouldn't take me too much, I guess. If I had 6 more bottles, I could probably say I'd be gone. Like I would be completely hammered. But I mean, bearing in mind, per bottle, these Budweiser has, let me find this, 4.8% alcohol per bottle.
Alright.
So,
Sweet.
But speaking of like companies, let's jump to Microsoft. Microsoft has announced that they are not going to support older editions of Internet Explorer from January the 12th, 2016. Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because why the fuck are they announcing this? Like, who even uses Internet Explorer these days? Like,
Who uses it, especially who uses it on the Xbox?
well, no, but I mean, Internet Explorer is so behind Google and Firefox and Safari.
Yes, it is.
And everything. Internet Explorer is so slow.
I know. You could have Google Fiber and it's Internet Explorer would still be slow.
Mm-hmm. Internet Explorer sucks. And a couple of years ago, Internet Explorer was the best thing around.
Now it's the worst thing around.
Oh, it is, web browser-wise. I don't think I've seen a worse web browser.
Mm-hmm.
Internet Explorer sucks. And I kind of feel as if in the next Windows update, Windows 9, they have to address this Internet Explorer, the next Internet Explorer, which I think is like 12 or 13.
Mm-hmm.
Update-wise, they have to announce that it's going to be competitive with Google and Firefox and Safari and Dolphin.
Which, that probably won't happen.
No.
they'll just say, okay, yep, Internet Explorer, blah blah blah, make me more money. The end.
Yeah, I mean, Internet Explorer just sucks, and I mean, the fact they're even taking, kind of like supporting it still, kind of sucks. I mean, like, you are Microsoft, and you are wasting money on that, yet your Xbox 360 doesn't even have an account recovery phone number. Like, why don't you just stop funding Internet Explorer, accept the fact that you suck at making web browsers and that you failed, and people have overtaken you in technology, and focus on something that brings in more revenue and money, and people pay for a subscription amount. You know, no one pays for Internet Explorer yearly.
No,
It's a free browser, you know. Everyone pays for Xbox 360 Gold, you know, live membership.
that shit's
And,
overpriced.
you know, well, it kind of is and kind of isn't, but we'll get that into that discussion in a second. But I mean, you know, the Xbox 360 compared to Internet Explorer, I'd probably say there are more users using the Xbox 360 than there is Internet Explorer.
I believe so.
Now, I also think that most PCs or most Macs that come, they don't have they already have Google Chrome and Firefox installed.
Well, they have with Windows.
Safari and whatnot.
When it comes to Windows, it's automatically Windows or Internet Explorer, and with Mac, Safari is stock. But then if you want Firefox, Chrome,
yeah, I mean my PC automatically came with Google Chrome. I just had to install Firefox because I prefer to use Firefox.
I prefer to use Chrome.
See, I had this issue with Chrome where it would just automatically kind of like freeze on me. And it was just terrible. It was pissing me off, so I went to Firefox, and I haven't really had a problem with it since.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that Internet Explorer is still being out there, and they don't seem to be updating Internet Explorer, like they seem to be okay with being like 3 years out of date.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I don't know. Does Internet Explorer even allow you to install plugins to your web browser? I think it's that far behind.
I have no idea.
I think it's that far behind that it is just terrible. I mean, It was great at first. I remember, like, Internet Explorer 8. You know, you would go to school and you'd be on your PC and it'd have Internet Explorer 8. The internet is so fast. The internet's great. And then you look at Google Chrome now, and then if you go back to school now, they're still using Internet Explorer. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, they're still using Internet Explorer 8.
Yeah, it's like catch up, man. Like, oh god.
Yeah, I know.
I remember last month Internet Explorer had like the biggest internet kind of like data security hack Internet Explorer had last month. So that's how bad Internet Explorer is, and they still haven't updated it.
Yeah.
But do you want to get into this Xbox Live membership as a rip-off kind of discussion that we just created?
I think we might go on for all night, so I don't think. Let's just touch it. Let's just skim it.
Okay, so I mean, to me, I kind of don't think it is a rip-off. And I don't think PlayStation Plus is a rip-off either. What about you? Do you think they're both rip-offs?
I don't mind PlayStation Plus at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind it. I mean, yeah, nobody's gonna like going from a free to play online console to paying $50 a month.
Mm-hmm.
But it still is better than Microsoft, because where it comes to Xbox Live Gold, you gotta think about this one. It's like, if you're gonna buy an Xbox One for anything, if you want to use Netflix or anything, you got to have Gold to do anything on that console.
Yep.
But for the PlayStation, you can just, even if you don't have a PSN account, you can just go online or go install it,
Yeah.
and then you ain't got to worry about having PSN Plus.
No. But I kind of get, like, with the last gen system, especially coming from a PS3 user and an Xbox 360 user, when I had the Xbox 360, the Xbox servers were never down. When it came to PS3, they were hacked, they were down, it was always maintenance at least once a month.
Yeah. Which that might just stop that now since
Well,
they're making us pay.
Since the PS4 system has come out, I haven't failed to been like signed in once. Like it's great. I've had this shit for over 9 months now, and I haven't failed to sign in yet. It's great. There is still maintenance, but it kind of, I don't know how it does it, but it kind of separates the maintenance into store maintenance, into update maintenance. You know, it kind of like separates it out. And I do kind of agree with PlayStation Plus. And the great thing about the PS4, and you probably didn't know this, but when you pay the $50, or over here it's 40 quid, when you pay that, and you activate the PlayStation Plus, you actually get it on the PS3 as well. So bearing in mind, if you plan to keep your PS3, as long as you activate it on your PS4 account or PS3, it will go through to your PS4. So not only will you be able to play PS4 online, every month you will get 2 free-to-play games until your subscription feed runs out on PlayStation Plus. You will also get 2 free PlayStation Plus games for PS4.
So it's
and Vita. So, you know, just this month for the PlayStation 3, I got Crysis 3 as a free-to-play game. I mean, I've had it since Christmas, and I'll go through my games that I've got from it right now, because I'm on my PS3 right now. So let me just press the button, and I have got from PlayStation Plus, I've got Dead Space 3, NBA 2K14, Payday 2, Sky Cooper, Thieves in Time, PES 2014, BioShock Infinite, Metro Last Light, Borderlands 2, and that's it. For PS3. And the fact that you're now getting 2 games, they updated that because Xbox had this like Xbox Gold ship thing where they give 2 free games. You now get 2 free months, and I think PlayStation Plus is a great service because Crysis 3 would cost you 40 quid brand new. And the fact that developers actually give their game to the PlayStation Plus to sign up for advertisements is great. Not only because it's free to play, but I kind of support Sony and their vision for the PlayStation Network. So giving them £40 a year is kind of acceptable in my eyes because it's helping them improve and go bigger and go stronger. Because let's face it, we both know that Sony doesn't really have a lot of money right now. They're kind of in debt with everything they own. A lot of their things have failed. And they're being sued again as well. That they're getting sued over Killzone Shadowfall's not online, not being 1080p. They're getting sued for that.
God, they're getting sued for everything.
I mean, here's a little quote that I got from that little read. It says, following a Digital Foundry report earlier this year, a game's multiplayer runs at resolution of 960 times 1080, and not. So Sony had told users that the game would run at 1920 times 1080, and the people who make Killzone Shadowfall quoted that the technique that they used is called temporal reprojection, which is 1080p kind of stretch kind of thing. And the lawsuit is being filed against Sony because they claimed it would be 1080p. That's what they promised.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, what has the world come to when you're suing a company for resolution issues?
Mm-hmm.
That to me is kind of over the top. But I kind of guess everyone needs money now.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either.
I wouldn't sue Sony or the game company for not running my game in 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering the game came out on release date with the PS4 as well, kind of gave it away that it wasn't going to run at 1080p because it's a game that ran on the first sort of like software for PS4, so it was limited time to sort of break the ice. Whereas I guess every game in 2015, if you really count it up, considering the fact that the PlayStation 3 has come out in 2013, you could argue a case in 2015. If a game doesn't run at 1080p, then you could probably sue them because it's 2 years later.
Mm-hmm.
And you would sort of expect that into the life cycle of how fast technology grows and how fast the developers grow. You could kind of deflate that, it should be running at that, right?
Yeah.
But to do it after so many months with a game that launched on that day, whereas it hasn't had the vulnerability of being able to study the hardware or at least learn the hardware or at least code for the hardware,
Yeah.
it's kind of arguable because although they promised it, they probably were told that they were capable of making it 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really Sony's fault, it's the developer's fault.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't sue them. I don't really care if my game doesn't run at 1080p for me. Do you care?
No, not at all.
I mean, can you really tell the difference between 720 and 1080p?
Unless you have a freaking 4K TV, then no.
No, not at all. And talking of customization skills and like 1080p, etc. We know that Facebook owns the hang on, let me get it up here.
Oculus Rift.
Oculus Rift. We know that they own it, but I mean, I've got some sort of like text that it went over the file. So, Facebook is reportedly holding talks with Hollywood studios and directors with the aim of bringing custom-made virtual reality movies to the Oculus Rift headset. Which it's kind of interesting because Facebook has a lot of money, gains a lot of money, and I think Facebook buying the Oculus Rift kind of dented everyone's hopes of what the Oculus Rift could achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel as if a lot of people felt let down when Oculus Rift sold their rights to their product to Facebook.
Yeah.
And it's only going to appeal to PC gamers, but I mean, for me, gaming, you don't really want to be wearing anything over your eyes when you game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it's kind of cool that they are trying to get movies in. So, I can only imagine from that Facebook is coming up with, for the future, for some kind of like Netflix subscription service kind of thing, where they bring, virtual movies in every month, etc. That would certainly be the case that I could come up with.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You want to get into some Grand Theft Auto talk? Because I have two Grand Theft Auto news things pulled up here.
Sure.
Do you want some Grand Theft Auto talk on the PlayStation, on the next gen systems, for the next gen, or do you want some possible release DLC news? Which one do you want?
Yeah. Hmm. I say. Let's go with DLC.
Okay, so a YouTuber has uploaded a video in the last couple of weeks, last week, called Dom is Live, and he's shown some Xbox Marketplace source code, which kind of suggests that GTA Online is getting some new DLC on
Mm-hmm.
August the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone has that date in their mind set because it's Gamescom that day, and it's
Yeah.
Sony's preference. It's like Sony's conference that day.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone is thinking that on August the 12th, it could be Heist Mode coming out, and
Mm-hmm.
Sony will be announcing it for the PS4
Mm-hmm.
and the PS3, which is kind of odd because um, a lot of marketplace source code leaks have come from this. Like the previous two DLCs have come from this.
Mm-hmm.
They were both leaked this way, and names were given in that marketplace code. This time, however, it just says DLC pack, which is kind of suspecting to Rockstar because it's Sony's press conference on the same day,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't have a DLC name. I mean, we've been waiting for Heist for so long as well.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm excited for Heist, but I kind of get the whole planning behind Heist and why everyone wants it and why it's taking so long. But I kind of get the feeling that it's going to be a next gen only thing.
I think so also.
Because I don't think the previous gen has the hardware to run
Mm-hmm.
Heist, just based on the fact that they said in the springtime it was coming. It's now pretty much autumn, I'd say.
That's
Nearly autumn.
summer. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's nearly autumn. It was due to come out in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of gone on a bit too long, and they've been shy to talk about Heist as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, E3 was a couple of months ago. They announced Grand Theft Auto for the next gen. Gamescom happens this week. Rockstar are going to show something. I think it's going to be Heist for next gen, to be honest. I think the DLC will just be some new cars for previous gen. I don't know if previous gen could handle Heist mode
Yeah, I don't think so either.
because I don't know. I can imagine just based on what GTA 5 is and how big of the game is and how
Mm-hmm.
big the online is. I sort of imagine that sort of like running at full potential, like it can't really handle much more,
Mm-hmm.
which is why they are bringing back sort of like classic missions. And when they do these like DLCs, they're not really adding too much. They're adding
Mm-hmm.
like one to five new missions and just cars pretty much.
Yeah.
Whereas you go to next gen, I kind of imagine it would spill more DLC coming out. Like there would be more game modes, more cars, more customization, more missions, that sort of stuff. Or they may just announce that zombie mode that we talked about on the last podcast,
Mm-hmm.
because that kind of looks interesting. The single player DLC zombie mode. Also for Grand Theft Auto 5 for the next gen, Amazon, uh, based in Germany, so the Amazon in Germany has stated that the release date will be November the 14th, 2014. Now, it's weird because not only has Amazon leaked this, there was also another game shop that listed the item for November the 14th. So it looks as if Grand Theft Auto will be listed for November the 14th.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do you kind of feel that's right for Grand Theft Auto to launch then? Because looking at the PS4 games, there are a lot of games that are coming out in November, October time.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of think Rockstar are trying to break records here. I know
Possibly.
Destiny has overtaken them in the pre-order
Mm-hmm.
bonus. Like Destiny is the most pre-ordered game
Mm-hmm.
ever,
Mm-hmm.
and that's because it's had an alpha and a beta.
Mm-hmm.
So Rockstar announcing it in November, um, 1.5 weeks after Call of Duty comes out. If Call of Duty fails, at least we have GTA 5.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. There are a lot of games coming out in November.
Mm-hmm.
There is a ton of games, and if Tom Clancy's Division comes out as well, I don't know if you've seen a trailer for that, but that looks insane.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Grand Theft Auto, I would have thought it would have released in October, September time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of shocked that they've chosen a November date because I can't recall from my Grand Theft Auto history of them ever releasing a game in November.
Yeah, I think they're doing that no, for November reasons, probably because of the fall quarter. They got to get that quarter and stuff in, as they
Yeah,
say.
but I think another reason is because they have some kind of special system planned in
Mm-hmm.
with Xbox and Microsoft and PC, like get your custom GTA console kind of thing built in for Christmas.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something, but I can't wait to see what Grand Theft Auto has to offer on next gen because it looks so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, also, um, Microsoft today announced that the Xbox only platform games are getting a price drop. So I wanted to ask you is do you think Sony will counterattack this and say, look, all our exclusive games are getting a price drop, or do you think this is just to try and boost Xbox sales?
Uh, I don't know. It could really be a range of both, truly.
Hmm.
I don't know. I can't really pick which side.
I mean, I know that pretty much Sony and Microsoft are pretty much going, hands at each other right now.
Mm-hmm.
One hits the other in the face, the other one gets knocked down to the floor, he gets back up and hits him to the floor. It's kind of like an ongoing battle,
Mm-hmm.
which for the next gen systems, which is great, but I don't know. I just get this feeling that even without a connectless Xbox, the PS4 is still powerful,
Yeah, I think
more
so.
powerful, and I I just don't know whether Sony will take this in advance to say, oh look, ours are going to be 3/4 half price, or take 25% off
Mm-hmm.
half price, because they're the Xbox. Microsoft are only taking £10 off their sales, so every new console exclusive game that you buy only gets $10 taken off. Whereas I think Sony will probably say, look, we'll take 20 off. We'll sell these half price
Mm-hmm.
because I think Sony's for the gamers.
Yeah, I think so. I think Microsoft's just worried about TV this, TV that,
Yep.
watch TV on our fucking console.
Mhm. I mean, would you even consider getting an Xbox One right now? Like, if you had a PS4,
Mm-hmm.
would you consider getting an Xbox One?
No, because I had a 360 and I goddamn hated
it? Why'd you hate it?
it. 'Cause it's a piece of shit.
You didn't hate it just because it was full of advertisements?
It's a piece of shit.
That's what I
Because
hate it for.
I hate it for a lot of reasons. And another reason because it's a piece of shit.
I mean,
And we just, so you might have lost those 200 followers.
No, we won't. But talking about 360, well, Xbox One and 360 is a game which I want to come to PS4 so badly. You remember we were talking about Daylight at the start of the call? Pretty much. There's a game called Rise, which is exactly like Daylight, but it's like Romans, so soldiers, and it's pretty much exactly the same as Dying Light.
Yeah.
But of course, that involves zombies. And that is switching over from being an Xbox exclusive to being a PC and Xbox exclusive. Now, the developer quoted saying, "We are not 100% happy with the Xbox One sales."
Again, who is?
No, I mean it's kind of makes sense, right? Because the Xbox One is so unpopular compared to PC and PS4 gaming right now. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, there was an article just based on Call of Duty Ghosts. There are 3 times as more PS4 players on Ghost than there is on Xbox One. So it's, maybe Ghost is just a bad game and a bad example, but the PS4 has probably hit over 10 million sales, whilst the Xbox, I'm still waiting for an announcement over 6 mil. I heard 5 mil, but
all I know is when a Microsoft fails, they don't like to talk about it.
no, they've
Nor
been
does any
quiet for
company.
months, right?
Yeah, they haven't really said anything too much about the Xbox sales.
No, they've always been delayed, in my opinion, as well. Sony's always been like the happy one that's just like bragging. Hey, look, we've gone to 10 million. Hey, look, in 2013 to 2014, we sold 100 million consoles. They've been bragging, whereas Xbox has just been delayed, and come out of the cold and just said, look, we're still experiencing sales issues. So do you want a question or do you want some more gaming news?
Let's go with the questions.
Okay, what is the worst thing about being a guy?
That's for the worst thing about being a guy. Well, that's the problem. We don't have any women in this conversation, so this is kind of awkward, but I would have to say it's like, when you're a guy, you have to take a shower like every day, or you get the case of swamp nuts. But I mean, it's always nice to have a nice hot shower in the morning.
Yeah, I mean, I like showering daily. I like being clean. I like smelling clean. I like looking fresh and my body being smooth.
And not have a case of swamp nuts.
But I mean, for me, it has to be armpit hair.
That's another thing, yeah.
Like, I don't want armpit hair. I don't want nipple hair.
Nipple hair.
I don't.
Just the way you said that just made me laugh.
I don't want hair down below. I don't want a hairy chest.
Oh my god! So you're like you don't want hair.
No, like I want hair on top of my head and that's it. Like I don't want armpit hair. I would rather have. I don't mind hair on my legs and arms.
Oh my god!
But under my armpits, I don't want hair there. I don't want nipple hair. I don't want hair around my penis, and hair above it, etc. I don't want pubic hair there. That sucks for me because girls although they grow hair, they only grow hair to a certain degree, whereas guys, it carries on and carries on and carries on.
Yeah, it happens though.
Hmm. Um. Here's so I went onto a website that did a lot of would you rather questions, which are kind of interesting and kind of fun questions. So, would you rather live a 1,000-year life or live a 10-year, 100 years life?
Hmm.
So you can either live for consecutive 1,000 years, or you can
Mhm.
either live for 10, 100 years.
I say 10, 100 years.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing these 100 years would be selective, so you could say, I'll live in 2040 and then come back in
Mm.
2020 and
Yep.
live for 100 years then, or well, 10 years. But I mean, 1,000 years would be good for technology wise.
Mhm.
Um, but you'd be kind of bored, right?
What?
You'd be kind of bored over 1,000 years, whereas if you lived for 10 years and then died for a bit and then came back,
Mhm. Yeah,
you
it'd be more of a.
adventure, I guess.
Mhm.
Whereas 1,000, you'd have the opportunity to live, to do everything in life. Like I'd imagine if you lived for 1,000 years and let's say nothing could kill you, so if you really wanted to, you could establish yourself in the money market zone and sort of fund your way throughout life and go to wherever you want and explore places and do. But I guess in 1,000 years, the world itself will massively change, and I guess I would just get bored of living 1,000 years. There would be no perks to life.
Mhm.
Whereas if you lived for 10, 100 years, it would kind of be different because you could live for 100, 10 years, 10, 100 years, but you could live for 100 years and pretty much balance it out and say, look, I'm bored of this century. I'll come back in, whatever year, how many years, and see what's changed, and then you'll live. Whereas 1,000 years, it's non-stop. It's just. Ugh.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, another one of these weird questions is: would you rather have hiccups for the rest of your life, or feel like you need to sneeze and not be able to for the rest of your life?
I would rather be able to feel the sneeze. Because if you were hiccups for all your life, that shit would get annoying.
Yeah, but doesn't feeling like you need to sneeze get annoying?
They both get annoying, but I would rather feel the need to sneeze than hiccup my whole life. Because you couldn't get a conversation off. You'd probably die from lack of oxygen.
That's true. Okay. Would you would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long?
May I repeat that first one again?
Would you rather win the lottery or live twice as long?
Win the lottery.
Uh-huh. What would you spend the money on if you won the lottery?
Cars, money, and bitches.
Okay. Who would be your top
Did I
five
just...
bitches you'd buy?
Wait a minute. I just said cars, money, and bitches. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna buy money with money.
What would be your top five bitches you'd buy? You can
Yeah,
buy any bitch in the world. Who do you buy? Top
I don't
five.
know. I ain't got no bitches yet.
No, like you can buy any celebrity to be your bitch. Top
Uh,
five. Who would you buy?
Kate Upton.
Uh-huh.
Probably the first. I don't know. I can't think of any right now.
I would have Gomez, Of course, everyone who listens to the podcast knew I was going to go for Gomez.
Yeah.
Then I would probably go for Lisa Ann.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Lisa Ann is pretty good at what she does. So is what's her name? What is her? Zoe Page.
Oh, okay. I got it.
I mean, I told everyone about her, and do you know of her?
Not exactly.
Not exactly. Oh God.
Is she British? Is she?
She's American.
That I don't know her.
Right. I'll show you after this podcast. I will tell you.
Okay.
I don't know with the last two. I mean, I think 5 bitches is pretty much too hard. I mean, if I had Gomez, that would just be heaven. I don't need anyone else. Like, she does everything.
Okay.
But I mean, if you had a porn star as a girlfriend,
Oh god, we're pulling the next Jaws.
but Lisa Ann's a porn star. That's why I said her, because she's...
Oh, okay. So we're alright.
And so is Zoe Page.
But
But I mean,
see.
if you had a porn star as a girlfriend, you know, this is another question in itself. Let's say you had met a porn star, but you didn't know they were a porn star, and you were going out with them, and then you found out further down the line that they were a porn star. Would you be comfortable as yourself accepting that they were sleeping with other people?
Well, I mean, you could pull an X Jaws and broadcast it all over YouTube, but yeah, I would kind of feel a little kind of odd with it because my dick's not in her pussy. Everybody else's is.
Yeah, I kind of get that, but I kind of think that, you know, people say porn isn't, you know, porn stars aren't everything that you set out to be in real life. Like, compared to real life porn stars, just because how a porn star makes it seem, it isn't. It isn't like that in real life. So I kind of get that most female porn stars would fake an orgasm. So it wouldn't really mean anything.
Yeah.
But I guess it would piss me off that is it kind of cheating in a way, although it's her job? Is it considered cheating in your eyes that she's with another man, although it's her job?
Yeah, I see to a certain degree.
I don't know. I mean, could you imagine the conversation? So, honey, how was work today?
Oh my god.
I mean, you know, like you just get home from work from your regular day job, and then you get home and you go, "Say, hun, how was work today?" "Oh, it was fine. He ejaculated all over me."
Oh my god. God damn it.
I don't know. Okay, so you're on a desert island with a beautiful woman or man, if you're gay, right?
Woman.
Not specifically you, but I mean, I'm reading this question out to the podcast. So everyone in the comments, you know, say, you know, to this question if you're still here. So you're on a desert island with a beautiful man or woman. Would you rather they are top half fish or bottom half fish?
Wait a minute, repeat that one more time. I'm a little bit
Right,
zoned out.
you are on a desert island with a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Would you rather they are top half fish or bottom half fish? So what it is meaning is, would you rather their face be covered like by a top fish? Like when you say top fish, like from head to stomach, they be a fish, and then anything below they'd be human.
I say the bottom. I say bottom be fish.
But you can't really talk to a fish.
Well, no, I just feel like the bottom half will probably be a fish. So the top half's human, the bottom half's fish.
That's what I'm going with, but I mean, I kind of get that if you had a top half fish, you'd get bored of the bottom quite easily. Compared to the top. I mean, you can't have sexual intercourse for 300 for a year, can you?
I'm not sure.
You get bored of that with no face.
Yeah, it would get boring.
No conversation and just you doing it. Whereas if you had top half, at least you could have a conversation and get blown off. So I guess I'd go top half. Is that your final answer, top half or bottom half?
Bottom half, I guess.
Right.
Bottom half.
So everyone in the comments, let us know your top half or bottom half. What is the most baddest way to die?
In my opinion, I would probably say, like, I don't know.
And when I say baddest, like, I don't mean like, oh, what's the worst way you could die? Like, I mean like, what's the best way you could come up with to die?
Oh, the best way. I would have to say, going off a cliff, grenade in hand, and ready to go.
Do you know what I would do?
What?
Dolphin dive into a lava volcano.
Okay.
Dolphin dive into a volcano.
I see.
Like, just run up the mountain and then just make that noise they do on, like, Trey Archer's card and go, huh! Dolphin dive yourself in. And then just have, like, the Modern Warfare 2 final stand or last stand, whatever it is. Just whack out your pistol and shame.
Yeah.
Goodbye, cruel world. What is something people do that they think is helpful but really isn't? I would have thought you would have had something for this because you're like really opinion based on other people. Like if someone isn't doing something, you will say, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I got nothing for this one.
What the hell, Steven?
I literally got nothing for this one, dude.
I think the worst thing that people can do that they think is helpful is lie to you.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Because I mean, let's switch this up as into not me related, but into like a person related. Let's say you're a guy or you're a girl, you like a boy or a girl, you know, you tell them that you like them and then they say, oh yeah, I like you too. They play your cards, you have a bit of fun or you have a bit of amusement, you know, if things don't go well and they say, oh, it's not you, it's me, we need to end or we need to break up, or let's just say lying to someone in general, pretty much. I think lying to people is pretty bad, and I kind of like people being honest with you straight away. So, would you rather go to Hogwarts and still be a Muggle, or live in a world with Pokemon but only get to catch Magikarps?
That's something I'm not a huge fan of neither of those, but I'd have to say the thing in Pokemon with the Magikarp.
No. You have got this all wrong. I mean, if you look at the Harry Potter movies, right, you've watched at least one, right?
No.
You haven't watched a single Harry Potter movie?
Not one.
What?
Yeah, I have never watched one.
Do you know who Emma Watson is?
Yes.
Well, she plays a Muggle in the Hogwarts, in the Harry Potter movies. So if you went to Hogwarts being a Muggle and there were girls like her that were muggles, you could easily score. If you go in a world where you're trapped in like a Pokemon generation where you can only catch magic carp, you get pretty bored of that.
Mm.
And at least at Hogwarts, you're a wizard, right?
I believe so.
I mean, here's an odd question, but here we go. Would you rather fart popcorn for the rest of your life, or have your past and future web browser history available to everyone?
I'd say have my past web browser history available to everybody because I got nothing to hide.
I guess. I mean, I guess everyone searches for pretty much the same thing if you're a guy. And I guess farting popcorn could rather hurt.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the best feeling in the world.
I'm just picturing that right now.
I'm not picturing that. Why would I picture that?
But I mean, it'd be kind of a cool party trick, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even like popcorn myself. So. Can I really ask this? I don't know.
Well, it depends on what type of question is it.
It's a sexual question.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, but go ahead.
I copied all the questions on here. It says that would you rather watch your parents have sex every day for a year, or join in with them at least once to make them stop?
Oh my God. I don't even want to answer. I don't even want to. I don't even want to answer that question.
I think I would go with. I guess if you watch them do it for a year, that's going to stay with you forever. If you join in once and they stop, it's over and done with, and you can probably forget about it. So I'm going to go with join in once and make it stop. What are you going for?
Yeah, I think I'm going with that.
Okay, would you rather have the ability to read minds or have the ability to read?
Ability to read minds.
I find books too boring.
Okay,
so getting back to a bit of gaming news. Well, not really gaming news. You've heard of Destiny, right? Have you watched any Destiny footage, gameplay, trailers?
Very little, but I kind of have an understanding to it.
Okay, now we know it's a Sony sort of big platform. It's going to be focused on PS4. Now, Bungie are claiming that Destiny is not for the Xbox One is not a dumbed down version compared to the PS4. Now, they quoted and said, "We're working really hard to make sure that the best experience and the quality of the game we're trying to deliver is equal across the platform." Now, Sony wants the PlayStation to be the best place to play Bungie's upcoming shooter Destiny. And the reason I brought this up is because we've been in a similar situation with Call of Duty. Now, Activision has always said, Call of Duty is just as good as on any console, any platform, you'll enjoy it. Now, I think we all know that PS3 to Xbox 360, the Xbox 360 was probably the best place to play it. There was no hacks, pretty much. There was hardly any hacks. There was no bullshit. What there is on PS3, the graphics are a teeny bit better. The DLC's there first. Now, I kind of get with this Destiny and PS4, it's going to be the same in my eyes, like COD was with the Xbox. Destiny's just going to be that tad little better on PS4. Are you getting Destiny on your PS4?
I doubt it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Does it just not interest you, or?
Yeah, it's just not interested in it.
Okay, so I have two questions left. What is the most important skill the average person should have?
Did we answer this question last week?
No.
Read and write.
Read and write?
Yeah, read and write.
I'm gonna say communication skills. Be
That's
able
not
to
bad.
be able to speak and listen to
Mm,
someone.
that's not bad either.
I mean, not everything requires you to read and write,
Mhm.
whereas everything needs a communication skill. You need to either listen or speak.
Mhm.
The last question is back to gaming based. So over here we have a shop called Game, which is pretty similar to GameStop, but they
Yeah.
don't rip people off with what GameStop do over there.
Mhm.
You can now buy digital games from their website and download them. I just wanted to ask, is digital gaming direct the future than a physical copy of a game?
I feel digital gaming is starting to slowly make its way as a main, like, you know, I guess, way form of it.
Yeah. hmm
But that's just my opinion on it.
I think um, digital won't take off until they have reasonable price cuts.
Mhm.
You will regularly find that every digital copy of a game that you can download on the PSN store and
Mhm.
Xbox and PC will be, well, not PC mainly, but console wise, they overcharge. They overcharge by $10, £10.
Mhm.
They never ever cut the price. Like if I go on my PS3,
Mhm.
Black Ops 1 is still 40 quid. Modern Warfare 2 is 20 quid.
Mhm.
I could buy all the CODs and get them delivered to my house for 20 quid.
Mhm.
They need to be realistic with prices.
Mhm.
I feel, and
Mhm.
until they get that reasonable price range, or until they have like reasonable price cuts, they won't take it off in digital.
Yeah.
But I would definitely download digital copies of games if I had the right hard drive as well.
Mhm.
Like I've only got a 500 gigabyte hard drive for my PS4 at the moment,
Mhm.
and downloading digitally, takes up
Mhm.
quite a bit. And I feel as if the internet has to come into the situation. Because not everyone has a great internet, so downloading digitally can be a problem.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all we have for this episode of the Gamers Podcast. I'm out of topics unless you have a topic.
Nah, I'm out of topics.
Okay, so I guess we'll end it there, guys. Thank you for watching this week's episode. I guess we'll be back next week with more gaming subjects. Hopefully, something really picks up at Gamescom that we can talk about. There should be a lot of gaming news related to that sort of next week stuff, but I guess right now the gaming industry is not really worthy of its place right now.
Yeah, it hasn't really.
It's been slow this month,
Mhm.
and I guess with next gen as well, it's been slow there as well. Like it's all indie games coming out. There's no triple A titles coming out
Mhm.
weekly, So I guess the whole gaming industry, the gaming platforms are slowing down. The news is slowing down right now, and I guess Gamescom is just that little bit of urge to pick it back up and bring it back
Mhm.
to realization. But alright, guys,
Mhm.
we're going to end the Gamers podcast here. Episode 9, I think it is, right?
Mhm.
So tune in for next week for episode 10. We're finally making it to double figures. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. If you did, then please do leave a like. Be sure to subscribe. If you are new here, then please do check out the other the other gamers podcast. Link to that is in the description, and be sure to subscribe for weekly shows and other gaming content.